whatever I wanted to learn about so I can use it in real life. I can use it for when I grow up. I learned skills that I didn't think I would have learned without Genius Hour.
Our story begins in a middle school. Imagine yourself in a 7th grade English classroom. Your teacher's lecturing on the structure of an informative essay. She emphasizes how you need to find reliable sources, take copious notes, but make sure not to plagiarize. You make a deep sigh, knowing the inevitable 3-page research paper is about to be assigned. Then, she gives you the topic. Research a person who has had a profound impact on society. You think, great, another paper on a dead person. Now imagine yourself as the teacher. There isn't a glass of wine large enough to get through those pile of papers. You think, great, another paper on a dead person. Meet Tricia Sanchez, middle school teacher. Last year, she found herself in exactly this spot. Her students were unmotivated, and she knew she had to do something about it.
So I saw this idea going around on Twitter about Genius Hour, 20-time passion projects, and I kind of just kept my eye on what other educators were saying, and about the same time, I noticed that the apathy in my students was growing rapidly, and they didn't want to take risks in their learning. They wanted to be told what to do, and that is so not me or my philosophy in teaching.
Her answer was Genius Hour. Genius Hour is an idea developed by Google where employees spend 20% of their time working on projects that interest them, provided that it might benefit the company. Google believes that if you allow employees to focus on their own passion projects, productivity will actually go up. Teachers are now implementing this in their classrooms, coining the term Genius Hour. They allow students to work on whatever project they want during their own learning time with the hopes that their productivity will also go up.
So I decided to just jump in. I really didn't know what I was doing. I had talked to a couple of people who said, just make Genius Hour your own. And I thought, whatever that looks like, okay. I jump in and I kind of told my students we're going on an adventure. And we just kind of jumped in. I told them why I wanted to do it, and they were very excited. Like, they couldn't even believe that I was going to let them choose what they wanted to learn. They didn't know how to choose what they wanted to learn. It really opened my eyes to the fact of what has happened in education for students. That we have created this in our students, this apathy, this lack of risk-taking, and it made me want to do this even more.
Tricia set 3 learning goals. Students would need to learn to research, write about their topic, and do a presentation at the end. She devoted every Friday to Genius Hour. Each week, students researched, then blogged about their progress. Watching her students every week validated her choice. They were engaged and they were learning.
And so we jumped in, and we just kind of let it go where it went. And my students, had a ball. They got out in their communities. They learned new technology. They sought out problems to solve. I saw a boost in their confidence. I saw my RSP kids, my speech kids. It didn't matter. They knew there was a presentation at the end. They could care less. They were just so excited about learning that it just built their confidence for them. And we scheduled all of our presentations at the end. We took about 6 weeks to study anything we wanted to and kind of bring back our learning to share it with people. After the first day of presentations, here's what my students said. Number one, they were just enthralled the whole time their peers were presenting. When does that happen, right? But several of my students realized that they learned about one thing, but when we presented, we learned about 30 things altogether, and that our learning just quadrupled. Just crazy. I mean, I now know about parts of my car because one of my students talked about the pieces of an engine, and now I understand what my mechanic says to me about my car. I mean, that's crazy.
What she realized is that her students learned far more than just what they were researching.
But the other thing, the huge thing, is that every single presentation that first year brought me to tears. They were transformed students. Even if it was just for one little facet of my class, they were transformed. And their confidence went up. And again, those speech kids, those RSP kids, the special ed kids, you would never have been able to pick them out of the crowd of presentations because they got up there and just, they were confident. They knew what they knew. When do they know what they know? Like, they knew what they knew because they could learn it themselves. So that's when I had to get the word out. And I tweeted about it, I blogged about it. I have now started presenting on it because we need to give students that choice. We can do it in any content. We can even structure it for them, but when students have the choice, they will surprise you. They will shock you. They will make you so proud, and in the long term, you are showing them how to be a learner. And now I'm proud to say that several teachers that I know are starting to do Genius Hour, and it just lifts my heart because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for our kids. And so that's how you do it. You find a good idea, you make it work in your room, and then you share. And that's how we change.
She shared her passion with me, and I also endeavored the journey. I was blown away by what my students accomplished. I asked some of them why Genius Hour was so different than anything they had ever done. They were so eager to share why it was the best school assignment they had ever done.
I got to pick what I wanted to do and what I thought I would be able to do, so I got to do a bunch of stuff that I didn't think I'd be able to do for school, and I didn't think I'd be able to show my classmates and that I'd be able to show off. I learned skills that I didn't think I would have learned without Genius Hour. Like, I practiced all the creative arts, which I wouldn't have learned at school because I had so much going on. I learned more about the things that I wanted to learn. Like, I was very interested, and I got to pick whatever I wanted to learn about so I can use it in real life. I can use it for when I grow up. Things that you wouldn't necessarily learn at school, it's now you can learn on your own and learn whatever you want, whatever is going to help you advance in your career when you grow up.
Well, what's different is definitely the fact that we have a wide variety of things to choose from, and we're not limited in what we can do our Genius Hour about. So, like, I did mine on music, and I'm very passionate about music. So that was really cool because I thought I would have to do like something really like academic and kind of boring. But it's cool to be able to make up all of the things that you need to put in there and then present it to the entire class. I definitely learned some public speaking skills in front of the class, and to not get too nervous or stumble over your words.
It could be anything we want, and it just really gave us that freedom and something that was really different from all the other projects.
It gave me something to feel like I got something to do for myself that I didn't have to be forced to do. That wasn't fun.
But with more freedom, you might want to go all out, and I went all out, kind of, and that gave me a little bit of stress, but in the end, it was actually pretty fun.
In Genius Hour, you get to learn more about what you're interested in.
Trisha decided to try something new, and it turned out to be revolutionary, not just for her students, but for others as well. She continues to inspire other teachers, speaking at conferences and blogging when she gets the chance. She no longer teaches English, but continues the concept of letting her students choose their passion in her technology classes. The power of the Passion Project is spreading. Get on board.